Okay, well, welcome to Akashic Knowing. This is where all of my Akashic people hang out. And I am excited to be here with Antonia and Greg. And they are the founders of Self Health Institute. And their mission is to empower clients by turning problems that block their health and success into golden opportunities so they can move forward with clarity and confidence. And that, of course, sounds like a fabulous idea. So for 25 years, they've been using their signature CoreTalk energy healing therapy to guide conscious seekers towards successful outcomes by asking their bodies simple questions and getting life-changing answers. So let's jump in. I would love to have you guys talk a little bit more about your programs, your energy healing modality, and all of that, because, I teach people how to access their own soul guidance and wisdom through the Akashic records. And I teach some healing tools, but I always feel like people are looking for more healing tools, especially when it comes to health, more the physical health aspects. So I would love to hear what you guys have come up with.
Yeah, it's cool because I love your work and how it gets down into that really deep soul level. And what we like to do is teach people when they get there how to ask questions, and really in the context of their body, because the body has been experiencing life as they go through, and it really has a great foundation of what's happened and how those experiences have affected them. So when you get down and you ask these simple yes/no questions to the body, it can give you a wealth of information to be able to really go in the direction that's going to be best for you in that moment. So over the years, what we've done is we went from really working symptomatically with people where they'd come and they'd say, I'm not sleeping well, or I have this chronic disease or some inflammation, or I just don't feel good, or I'm having a relationship problem. And what we'd find is that as we'd work with these people one-on-one, they would start to have a deeper understanding of how their lives were fitting in with the things that were going around them relationship-wise, and then how that would affect their health. So we work with energy as we're doing that so that we can clear the body of blockages that are keeping it from really being able to help the person feel better and guide them towards the outcomes that they want.
Yeah. And what is really fun is that we get to talk to that body, to people's bodies. And we actually call it, like you're talking about, going into the soul process. And we love to talk about the super consciousness, the mind, body, and the spirit, and everything that makes up what we are here. And that's what we get to access when we talk to the body, because like Greg says, it knows us better than anyone, right? And we use those age-old healing and wisdom traditions of the meridians and the chakras, and really key into where are those blocked? What is happening with those? Because the meridians services all of these organs and tissues and muscles and emotions, and that's how we're bringing all of these feelings, thoughts, and beliefs into our bodies by these meridian system, our energetic system that we all have and use on a daily basis, that are really the essence of our health. And so that's why we love to be able to talk to our body and say, what's going on? How can I help you?
Yeah, perfect. And I know because of, I work with so many clients on that bigger picture of who are you and who have you been and what have you done through time immemorial, right? But what I notice so often is that these emotions and our traumas and all that we're experiencing can be stuck. And that really is where this disease is coming from, is often stuck emotions. And like you say, the meridians, and you look much more than just the chakra system. So how did you two start doing this? Tell us a little bit more about where you started. I know you've been at it a long time.
Yeah, and we've been together for a long time, and through our relationship, we were watching and helping each other grow both on a spiritual level and a personal growth level. And while we were doing that, we were working for big corporations, and we both had some pretty serious health issues that just stopped us in our tracks. And it was at that time when
Greg doesn't like to get dramatic or anything, but the truth is that we almost died within several months of each other when our children were very small. Actually, when I was pregnant with our second child, and Greg got really sick, and I had actually gotten this blood poisoning from,
oh my gosh,
and when I was pregnant, and I was already had bronchitis. I was on, antibiotics, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And I went to the doctor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my hand is hurting me. And he goes, roll up your sleeve, because I had a blister, and there was a red line going up my arm, and it was almost all the way up my arm.
Well, and those of you who know about blood poisoning, if that red line gets to your heart, you die.
It's finito.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I was in the doctor's office, a lot of antibiotics, but it really set me thinking, I don't have control over what's happening with my body and where I'm going. And it's affecting not just me, but my unborn baby and the whole family. And what was so crazy is that, I made that through. And just a couple months later, Greg came back from a business trip overseas, came down with really serious, we thought he had pancreatic cancer.
Well, and 6 months into all that, going to experts, having all kinds of tests, taking lots of medications, and still having this really difficult gastrointestinal thing for 6 months. I went to what was my final doctor visit, and he said, Greg, there's nothing medically wrong with you. And I thought, okay, so what do I do now? I guess it's on me. And
Wow.
that same day, it was bizarre. I was in this new grocery store called Whole Foods. This was a while ago.
We're dating ourselves.
And a woman who had been in the massage certification class, she was a teacher in 1977 when I did that class.
When he was a teenager.
This woman walks up to me in Whole Foods, and I said, Priscilla, I've been meaning to call you. And she looked me in the eye and she said, I know, your pancreas is really in trouble. And I was like, okay. So I got in on a cancellation a few days later, did this 90-minute session with her, and I got off the table, and all of these symptoms, I had had diarrhea for 6 months, were completely gone. And all she did was some muscle testing, tested some stuff that, my body was either assimilating or not, did a little bit of clearing. I didn't really know exactly what she's doing. I had an idea because I was a body worker for years before that, but no symptoms at all. And we were both incredibly intrigued about all this, and it led us to wonder if she teaches this stuff.
Yep. So we got into her 2-year certification program, went through that, became her apprentices, set up our own healing business, and launched out working with people with all of the symptomatic issues with their body and health and relationships and things like that. So it's been a fantastic thing. And what we realized through that was, and we started teaching the certification course. And that's when we realized, geez, this is really nice teaching practitioners. And we love to do that with like-minded people. And we want to reach more people. We want to reach moms and dads and people and, everywhere, to bring the healing back into their own hands.
And into their families.
And into their families and their communities. So that's our mission, is to put healing back into people's hands.
Right. And it's so important today, because it seems like every year it gets almost further out of our grasp or our grip in that sense, where you get maybe 10 minutes with a doctor. If you go in with some chronic whatever experience, and I've had a couple of those myself in my life, and where I had overnight my whole body blew up with inflammation and my hands looked like claws. I couldn't move my hands for almost 4 months. It took me 4 months to detox that. And I went to, of course, the regular doctors, and I went to the
specialists,
all the specialists for inflammation, and it was nothing that they could find. And I say, I know I had a virus that triggered an inflammation in my body. I know that's what it was. And they all think I'm nuts, but I'm like, oh, one of my healer friends saw and killed the virus for me. But it's taking me months and months to detox it out of my body. But literally, again, I healed it on my own. It took a little time, but I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And there's so much information, but the doctors would have just been like, here, try this pill and see if that helps with the pain. And otherwise, we have no idea how to help you. And so,
then you have all the side effects from the medications, right? And that's a whole other journey that then you have to go through to either get rid of those side effects, detox, everything.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So why do most people come to you? Is there anything in particular? Are there main issues that you work with? Or tell me a little bit more about how you work, your programs, and things that you offer. So,
Yeah. Usually people come to us, it's for like a variety of reasons, but they've heard from somebody that we can guide them somehow, some way to finding some healing for the issues that they're dealing with. So we have a lot of people who they are having difficulty kind of moving from where they are in life to their next area that they want to go to. They're kind of stepping out of their comfort zone, and it makes them uncomfortable. They get anxious, or they've been experiencing something long term that is showing up symptomatically in their body, which happens a lot. Our bodies are so intelligent about how they will express what's happened to us. And then if we just have a simple system, and in these systems, the process is what we really teach in our classes, is people wonder, well, what can I do about this thing that's showing up? And what we do is we teach them a very simple system of being able to ask questions to their body using muscle testing to be able to find out what is really the core issue that's causing the inflammation, the anxiety, the respiratory problem,
the pain, the allergy. We work a lot with people with food allergies, or any kind of outside, trees or bushes or plant allergies. With this work does wonderful clearing those things once and for all. We had a client who was actually was a contributor to a very big body awareness book, and she was a nutritionist, and she got down to where she could only eat 3 foods. And of course, the irony was not lost upon her about that. And so she came for several sessions. And the first session, we got it so she could eat 5 more foods. The next session, we got it so she could eat 11 more foods, and so it was just that progression of freeing her up, because that's so restrictive not to be able to eat foods, right? You literally just your world gets smaller and smaller, right? So that's a huge area we help people with, and pain and muscle tension, headaches, as well as, some of the mindset kind of negative thinking and the beliefs, the limiting beliefs that people have. We have a real simple process to get in and figure out where that belief started. Clear that out of your body, out of your super consciousness, everything, so that you can move ahead encoding a new belief that is life affirming for you.
Beautiful. That is very, very powerful, because I think that really is the simple truth is we need to track down some of these limiting beliefs, because they're often so unconscious, and once we can realize them, kind of pull them up to the surface and let them go, then we can say, okay, now I'm choosing a new belief, and we can really work with all of those aspects. So very, very powerful. And certainly I've had chronic fatigue and food allergies, so I totally can relate to what you're talking about with this woman you worked with. I remember when my kids were little, I think we ate chicken and millet because I was allergic to everything else, just about, So I always kind of joke for me, because I always say, well, it keeps me thin. I'm not a big foodie anyway, but really when you're stuck with those really small, because I've healed those things along the way also. Right. And it's important, but there's not that many ways, I don't think, that aren't, that are non-invasive, that are simple tools to start to shift these things. So I posted your link to your free gift in the chat box so people can see that there, and you can just download their free gift and get more information. And Greg and Antonia also teach online workshops, right? So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that, because of course we have, people who love to go to practitioners for the healing. And many of us also love to learn how to do it for ourselves. So I know you're really fabulous with the teaching of that self-help.
Yeah. And we really enjoy both aspects of that, working one-on-one with people. We also love doing group coaching with people to really infuse this system into their life, so that when things come up, they can see, wow, there's a purpose to why this is happening in my life, by asking their body, what's going on? And these simple questions allow them to get access to their body's inner wisdom. And the free gift is kind of the beginning of that whole thing. It's called 3 Powerful Ways to Tap into Your Body's Inner Wisdom. And if you download that, and then you'll kind of get access to what we're doing. We've got some things coming up. One of our favorite things to do is live events, where we have people that we can work with over a period of a day or a couple days, or this one that we have coming up is 3 days, where we can really address what's going on in their life and give them a system that they can learn in that time, where they really start to feel empowered, like they really can be the ones who are going to make the difference in their life, as far as being able to heal and really feel the way that they want. I mean, that's really what it's all about. If you don't feel the way that you want to feel, then you want to do something. Your body's talking to you. It's saying, hey, that vision that you have, what you're doing right now is not moving you in that direction. So let's look at that. And that's really what our body's doing when it's having this discourse with us that is showing up as different symptoms in the body. But it's also in the head. And we really teach how to be able to understand what the kind of outdated beliefs are, how they're affecting you, and then how to look at that and move forward.
Yeah. So at the Unleash Your Inner Healer event, which is just in a couple weeks, we give everyone the tools of the essentials of CoreTalk, how to talk to your body, how to communicate and get those questions going. They figure out their signature meridian, so they know that emotional setting, and how to heal a ton of the stuff that's been stopping them so far. And we also do a healthy body map, where you can look at, okay, where is the stuff in my body going on that I would like to change? And then show them ways to change those physical aspects, that chemistry, or that muscle tension or congestion, and have them take away a method and a process that they can use every day to continue the work after the workshop.
And I did put that also in the chat. So if people are interested in learning from you, working with you, and studying from you, that link is right there also. So free gift and the upcoming workshop, which is August
6th through 8th.
6th through 8th. And if you're hearing this after August 6th through 8th, just know that we have workshops ongoing, and when you get the free gift, you'll be notified of everything that we're doing.
Yeah, and with this event, if you register right away, we're going to send you a pendulum that you can use in the workshop and ongoing.
I love that. Yes, I'm a big fan myself. I always have one in reach also. Right?
We do too.
Ours is right there.
Right. I know. I always have mine right there.
Best tool.
It is. It's a very handy tool. So if people don't know how to dowse, I assume that you are teaching that in the very beginning of the workshop and really taking people through this. So this upcoming workshop is teaching people how to start to heal themselves.
Yes.
Yes.
And we actually have a bonus mini workshop the night before we start. So Thursday night, August 5th, we're having a pendulum power workshop, and it'll go and show them. We talk about how to calibrate, how to make sure that you are talking to your body that's the right age, and all, we have 4 special questions we ask every time before we start a session with ourselves. And yes, then we go through the entire thing, how to talk to your body, formats of questions, how to get at those things. There's even stuff about energetic hygiene, that sticky energy that sometimes goes between people, how to unhook from that, and clear it and not accept that anymore. So you can have beautiful boundaries so that you do what you want to do and not be overly influenced by other people.
Right. That is so important. And I always, even though, we've just spent a year, most of us kind of at home, a little bit more alone, but, we're still energetically connecting right through Zoom, right over the phone. We're sending our energy out to people, and we're taking on their pain. And we often have a lot of energy in our energy field and body that doesn't belong to us. So we might be feeling someone else's pain. So I'm assuming you'll teach people how to, is this mine or is this yours or someone else's?
Exactly. And there's, all of our people, our beautiful people, are so empathetic. And we have found that for empathetic people, it's even harder not to take on other people's energy.
Yes, I agree. Fabulous. So, and then do you actually go on and train people how to become certified practitioners? Or
we do. We have an ongoing course. It can either be where people are just doing the group coaching without any certification in mind, but we do have an in-depth certification program also.
A year long. Where they really dive in deep. We have in-depth workshops on not just the physical issues, the chemistry, the biochemistry, really getting into how to get rid of the allergies, how to get rid of that muscle tightness. And they really come out knowing how to do CoreTalk, and some of them right away are starting to be able to heal their clients using this technique.
Yeah, that's so important right now. I see so many people, many of my clients are coming to me and saying, what is my sole purpose? I feel like I've come to do so much more than whatever my corporate job is. Yes. And, so I think it's really important when we can teach and train, as I do with my Akashic Knowing School, is train people to be Akashic record consultants and healers, but to train people to do the physical level like you're teaching, and really helping people to create their own business, to become entrepreneurs, to be able to work for yourself. It's so freeing, right? And empowering to be able to do this for yourself, for your clients too.
Yeah. And make money as a healer.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that. It's important to do that. You have to self-sustain to bring your magic to the world, right?
Right, right. I do a lot of healing around that, clearing those vows of poverty, right?
Right.
Where we've all said, I won't take money for my, my God-given gifts or, my divine gifts. And we've just made those vows one too many times. They've stuck. So
Exactly. There's so many things like that. It's just amazing.
Well, and when we step into our passion and purpose in a way where we're really interacting with a lot of people and developing a business, it brings up all kinds of really edges that we hadn't had to deal with before, problems that we didn't know existed because we weren't doing that type of work. We weren't really getting outside of our box.
Yeah, pushing our own boundaries, our safety.
Yeah, it's a big part of. We have another program called Success Accelerator Code, where we're working really with entrepreneurs who are starting to push out of their comfort zone. That's really a fun one, and it also has a lot of energy healing in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
100%.
I'll have to talk to you about that myself.
That'd be fun.
Right? Because, as we grow, we realize I'm bumping up against a wall here. If I'm going to go out there and do that, that big stage, there's things that come up. So yes, it's wonderful to help entrepreneurs that, to be even more successful.
Right.
Well, and those times when that happens, those are our instructions from the universe. Right. This is what this feels like when you go to do that. Tap into your body and find out why it makes you feel anxious or why it's scary or whatever it is. And your body knows exactly why. It knows the times when it happened and it knows how to heal it. It just delivers that to you just by asking.
I love that. Well, I am really excited about your work, and hopefully people will grab the free gift. And if you're interested in going all the way down and looking into the workshop, that link is there also. And so anything you want to share before we kind of end our little chat today?
I think the most important thing for all of us when we start to get excited and we start to move into areas where it expands our growth, it expands our vision of what we're becoming, where we want to go. It's so important to allow ourselves to update a breath at a time. So I always just love the idea of being able to move forward a breath at a time.
Yeah.
So it's really, it gives us stability and a place to grow from.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
And just to add on that, as you're breathing, just remember you're right here, right now. And healing happens in the moment. Forget about the past, don't regret the past, and try not to stress about the future. Right here is the most beautiful moment that we have. It is all we have. So be here, right now.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. It has been a pleasure to spend this time with you, Antonia and Greg, and to really hear all about your school and your gifts. And I look forward to hopefully spending a little time with you too.
That'll be really fun. Thank you.
Doing a little work together.
Let's do that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.